Hey! Welcome to my channel. Listen to me talk very stiffly. Here is my piano. I just got it for free. Free pianos, they're always nice. Sometimes it's a little bit of a gamble. But I like this. It is a upright piano, Whitney by Kimball. It is pretty cool though. It's got like this little slidey do. Just cover that up. I don't want to like touch this thing because it's sitting on my music stand. If I pick it up and then I put it down, it's gonna be like, and you're gonna feel like your ears are gonna blow right up. So I'm like, I don't want to do that because that's not great. It's not a great thing to do. So anyway, I did get myself a book because I thought about my time in college. I hated the piano. Like, I did not enjoy it. I didn't enjoy the way they were teaching it. And it's not like I have bad things to say about my college experience. It's just it wasn't comfortable. I was very stressed out. And as a result of being stressed out, I didn't really get to absorb much of anything. Because what I do know about myself is that I have a tendency to kind of just zone out when I'm looking at sheet music. It's always been an issue. It's always been an issue since I was in 5th grade, is I would look at sheet music and I would zone the heck out. This thing is like stupidly intense. But yeah, I would just zone the heck out. I wonder, like, if I could just not blast you in the face with light. Actually, there's an alpaca right here. We'll blast the alpaca with light. Yeah, this is like start the alpaca on fire. Alpaca of joy. Yes. A magnificent alpaca. Yeah, that light is annoyingly bright. But anyway, you're gonna just have to deal with it. Because you're not reading the sheet music, I am. Anyhow. So this is my piano. And these are my exercises. And I'm trying to do it with a nice and even. And I'm trying not to zone out. I'm really fighting this tendency to want to zone out. And it's painful because it's like I'm having to really stare at it. Oh my gosh. My brain is on fire. Whatever. I can't do it. I can't multitask. Yay! I get to the G. Oh my gosh. But you gotta practice slow in order to train your brain. It's easier. It's like exercising a muscle. I should practice with a metronome, but I really have not bothered with it. Mostly I just want to be able to get through it with paying attention to all my notes. Okay. And this is why I struggled all through my life. Is if I'm having to like read something or to look at something, my computing power just goes, and I just feel my brain start going. It's like not good, but hopefully I'm hopefully I'll get more skills as I play. Then maybe someday those skills, oh, alpaca, don't you dare. Maybe those skills will pay the bills, you know? I like this one. It's kind of nice. It gets you thinking about the intervals. It's only a third, but it's getting your fingers used to skipping. And you just get used to it a little at a time as you practice. And then you got to remember, sometimes I get thrown off by the change in directions because it changes it up on you. And that's what I don't like about it. But it doesn't do that for every piece of music. It just depends on how you start going down. This one's pretty same. This one does the same, pretty much going up and down. So it's not too bad. It's not too much of a mind twister for me. And the thing about, you know, if you have like an attention deficit disorder, you know, with or without hyperactivity, with and without comorbidities, music is a great way to start getting your brain to focus in a little bit more. And like I said, it's a muscle. You really have to just get used to developing it. The brain is very flexible. People don't realize that a lot of blockages that they have actually has much to do with the things that they store in their brain, trauma, beliefs, their doubts, their fears, you know, their obsessions, you know, everything that you can put into a brain acts as a sort of library. And if your library is full of information that causes your scripts to get fumbly and jumbly, you're going to struggle with being able to apply your intelligence to learning other things like to read music. Because now, say if you got a negative thought about yourself, like, oh, I can't pay attention and it's always going to be a struggle, already that's a stumbling block. Because it starts in here and it comes out here. And as they say, it's mind over matter. If you're just going to set yourself up to fail, that's it. It's a self-fulfilled prophecy. Everybody has different abilities. We're all not going to be able to do the same things. Somebody can look at this and do a whole lot better than I can. But that's not the point. You know, it's not the point to compare yourself to somebody else. You just got to play. And it doesn't have to be like absolutely perfect. It just has to, you just have to basically get in there and do it. You know, it's hard to like multitask. And then you gotta, sometimes you gotta change it up rhythmically just so your brain could catch on and say, oh, I'm doing this. Then a third da and a step, step, step. And then another, that's your landing base. And then you do a third. if you pay attention, it's going up in steps. And if you think about it this way, you're just going up a C major scale and you're just adding, fluffy stuff on top of it because it's got to get your fingers all set to do stuff. So that's what I think of. And if you fumble, you repeat it so that your brain gets a chance to. Because parts of it are going to be easier than others. And like I said, it's like working out. It's like going to the gym. So you're going to the gym. You're not going to get good right away at using the equipment, at, running 10 minutes on a treadmill. You got to work your way up to it. You got to exercise them muscles. And apparently this alpaca has to exercise their muscles because they fell over. But I really like this piano technique book because it's got all sorts of fiddly bits, and you can play all the fiddly bits. Like I said, you can do it one hand. And that one, that exercise number 8 that I'm looking at, the cool thing about it, if I could get you to see it. Oh yeah. It's within an octave. It's you're doing a third, so C, E, G, and then you're adding the 6th scale degree before you go to C. And I'm not great at singing. I'm bad at it. But I'm hoping to get really good at the piano because I've been looking at my past lives. So, here's the trippy thing about, past life discovery. I'm super obsessed with the piano, and I gotta remember to not do it so much where I start destroying my hands. You gotta give yourself a break. You gotta warm up. You gotta be flexible. You gotta, not, overuse something. So, ever since I started recalling information, this is, the funny thing about me discovering who I was in the past. And I like texting my friend Alora. I'd be like, Alora, I discovered this today, and then I went, and then it's like, and it's cool because I start recalling names. I don't remember names very easily. I'll forget people's names all the time. I think that's just part of my personality. I just kind of tune out. And it's because I've grown up that way. Life was pretty miserable, so I've tuned out. And it's gotten to be a bad habit, so I have to tune back in. So, but what I did notice was the one time I was laying in bed and I thought to myself, man, it's like my belly hurts. Everything hurts. And I feel like I get acid reflux, but there's no acid reflux, but I get the sensation that as I'm sleeping, I'm just in my throat, and I'm just like, then I had the impression that I got really sick the one time, and it was just like diarrhea, and I was just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But then there was another moment where I was just like, I smell strong body odor. I smell fierce armpit smell. And the funny thing was, it's because it was me remembering another lifetime, and hence why I have a piano sitting here. The funny thing is, I started remembering my lifetime as a German composer, and all of a sudden it's like I saw a piano available on Facebook Marketplace, and I just thought, I must have this piano. And so I went and got the piano. I had an uncle that helped me to get this piano. And so basically my uncle, his son, and then our cousin went to got the piano. Then the bearded man upstairs had to go help and bring the piano inside. It's got foot pedals, it's got, the whole shebang. And what I want to do is I want to be able to write music. I'm just figuring out all the ways that I'm kind of just stuck in my own way. Because like I said, what you put up here can help you or be a detriment to you. And I got into really understanding why in like 4th grade I really did not like Mozart. And the funny thing is, and it's because of my lifetime as this German musician / composer, and I kind of had a resentment about Mozart because of my dad. Because of my stinking dad. And I have a memory where I felt like my back was just bruised all on one side and kind of like split open here and there, like cuts. And it was uncomfortable. I was like in bed and I was just like, I don't know what's going on. But you know how like guys can choose to shave with just using like some kind of knife, like a shaving knife, but then you gotta like make sure the knife is nice and sharp by having this like leather strappy do, and you use that strappy do to kind of just make sure you get everything ready, and and so like, okay, so just imagine this, where you're in bed and then your dad like walks upstairs, heavy footsteps, just like upstairs, all mad and such, and then busting through your door like, and then just yanks you by the ankle and just pulls you right out of bed. And oh my gosh, I like remembered that it's like it was my right ankle that he grabbed, yanked me out of bed, and I hit like my face like right here, and it was uncomfortable. And then on top of that, I remembered him kind of just being in this like, like, I'm like, what is going on with this man? Like, he's just like, and I was just like, Dad. But, basically I had to get down there to stinking, like, stand it. I'm not good at remembering instrument names because, I'm kind of a lackey musician in this life, but I believe it was the clavichord, according to the museum, if I remember correctly. And this is the curse of ADHD, me tuning out all the time just because of how boring this life was. So basically, I remembered him dragging me down the stairs by the scruff of my neck, basically, just like I had a shirt on. So he like held the back of my shirt, and I'm like trying to pitter patter down the stairs, but like even if I tripped up, the man basically held me like this. And then he like chucked me right at this footstool, and I smacked the footstool. And I was just like bawling my eyes out, like, why are you doing this to me? Can you guess what composer I was? And why I had resentment about Mozart? It should be kind of clear at this point. But anyway, Ludwig van Beethoven. And I am baffled It's like, how? How is somebody like me, a complete scatterbrain, somebody that has been kind of just wandering through life, how am I, somebody like that? Well, I didn't have anybody directing me where to go. So that was the big difference. So my childhood in this life, I didn't have anybody saying, you gotta go do this. It's like, no, I didn't have anybody forcing me into one direction or the other. I pretty much got free reign to choose where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do. And if people didn't like it, I was still pretty much the person that was just kind of like, F you, I'm going this way then. Because I didn't like having to be subservient to an authority, which I didn't know where that came from. But the more I realized it came from my past life, where I kind of just said things without a filter that got me in trouble at times. But it answered so many of my questions because it got me thinking, why did I have a difficult time getting along with people? But it's just funny to me. It's just so. Right now, I'm stupidly obsessed about this piano, and since I got home at like 1 o'clock, I've been wanting to just sit here and play all day. But literally, I can't just sit there play all day because you gotta give your body a break from time to time. So, like exercise 12. At least I ended on the right spot right there before I gotta go. Okay, so this is where my brain struggles. Come on! And I'm kicking myself in the butt for not paying attention better when I was in school. I tuned out all the time. Just like how I did. I just imagine me just kind of just staring out into the void, just being like, I hated school. I really hated it. It was not a great experience. It was stifling. But anyway, this is an update on my life. I love this instrument. It's the good stuff. I'm so excited to play it. So it's great. Like, ever since I discovered my past being this weirdly eccentric person, I'm like, yes. I get to be weird. I'm so happy. Anyway, have a good night. Have a good night. We'll see you.